Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Amy coming to you for another lunchtime inspiring moment. Today, I said I wanted to slow down for a moment and really just teach you something today. Today we're talking about leadership development and developing your leadership development skills. So if you're interested in moving to a higher level of leadership, getting promoted, or starting or running your own business, I'm here to tell you, you must have effective leadership skills. So what I want to do today is I want you to get a piece of paper so you can jot some things down, because I'm going to slow down today and give you a little mini leadership lesson. So go ahead, while you get your notebook and something to write with, I'm going to gather my notes here so I can share some things that I want you to get today. So go ahead, I have a moment, I'll wait for you. So what I want you to think about is what can happen if you don't develop effective leadership skills. What can actually happen if you don't develop effective leadership skills, especially if you want to get promoted, you want to move to a higher level, or you want to start and run and operate and scale a business. Because when you have a business, you are the leader, you are the executive, you are the person that's setting the pace. So if you do not develop effective leadership skills, the first thing is no one will follow you. No one will follow you. And guess what? If no one's following you, then how are you an effective leader? And I'll talk a little bit in a bit about the difference between leadership here and then the higher level is effective leadership. And there is a difference. So number one, no one will follow you if you don't develop effective leadership skills. The second is you'll have a lack of direction and vision. Number three, if you're working for a company, whether a small company, a big company, if you don't develop effective leadership skills, you will probably not be the person getting promoted to that next level. I'm just telling you right now, you probably will not be that person. And today I'm functioning as Professor Himes, right? Because I want to share some things with you on leadership development. Also, if you don't develop effective leadership skills, you will have no influence and no impact. No influence and no impact. So make sure and write that down on your list. Also, you'll have missed opportunities for growth and development. And also another thing that comes to mind is a lack of accountability. So I want you to make sure you write those things down if you don't develop effective leadership skills. So what I want to do here for the next few minutes is actually teach you some things to make sure you know what effective leadership looks like. Now, we all know that you have individuals and organizations who are in management and leadership positions, but just because they are in a leadership or a manager position, that doesn't mean that they are an effective leader. Right? And what's an effective leader? I'm going to define the effective leader as someone who people want to rally around, someone who people want to follow, someone who, whatever they say to do, everybody wants to jump in and be a part of that vision that person actually have. So number one, the first thing that I want you to write down for your leadership training is effective leadership equals trust. If you are not building trust, you are not on that road to becoming an effective leader. So effective leadership equals trust. People will not follow you until they trust you, right? So it's a term we use in leadership development called followership, meaning you have to build followership. And what that means is you have to get people to rally around you. And how do you do that? First, you have to have a vision for your future, right? Have a vision for the department you're in. Have a vision for the team that you're on. Have a vision for your business. And then you start talking about that vision. And then other people start to rally around you and they want to go where you are going. And that's how you create followership. You start talking, the things that you're going to do and where you're going to go, and you get people engaged and speak to their heart. And before you know it, they are wanting to follow you because you are taking them somewhere, right? So if you don't have followers, you are not an effective leader. You are not a leader unless people are following you. All right. Like they are going where you're going and listening to what you are saying. So again, there's a difference between being a leader and being an effective leader, because a leader can be anybody that's assigned or in that particular position. So number one, write that down for leadership competencies is to build trust with your people. Number two is you have to have a vision for the future. Vision-driven leadership is the same as strategic leadership, where you're letting people know where you're going and where you can take them. And right? And as you talk about this on an ongoing basis, then people start to jump onto your bandwagon because they like where you are going. So when people don't have a vision for themselves, they will jump onto somebody else's vision, and that's great. So what's your vision for your department? Where are you going to take the people? How are you going to guide them? How are you going to lead them? All right? So the next leadership competency that's very important is to develop relationships. If you cannot get along with other people, if you can't motivate, inspire other people, right, then how are you going to be the person that gets selected for a position? So you have to develop relationships and know how to develop relationships and know how to settle conflict and how to motivate people, right? So that's the next thing, develop relationships. That is a big time leadership competency that's so important. So the next one that I have on my list here is, now listen up to this one. If you want to be the person whose name gets on that list for promotion, if you are thinking about, hey, I want to start a business, you don't just start a business and everything happen by itself. You are the person doing the work. So number 4 is you have to do the work now. You have to do the work now. And for me, what I teach in my leaders when I'm working with companies is the term I call servant leadership. Be willing to serve the people that work on your team. Be willing to serve the people that work in your group. And what that means is I call turning that pyramid upside down and you making life easier for them. You being the bridge between the executive team and your workers. You acting right now like the person that you want to get promoted to, that position that you want to get promoted to later. You have to do the work now. And a lot of people have a problem with that, right? Thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do the work now before I get promoted. I'll get paid for it. Well, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Just like I'm here every day, taking my time, imparting knowledge and sharing and teaching and inspiring and motivating. Well, yes, you do the work now. If you're willing to do the work when you're not getting paid for it, then aren't you going to be ready and positioned to do that same work when you do get paid for it? So yes, I'm going to say to you, if you want to move into leadership, you have to be willing to do the work now. And because when you do the work now, you'll get notice. Right? Because when the executive team is looking for names to go on that promotion list, they want to know that you're going to know how to do that job. So do the work now. That's my next piece. And then what goes with that is the next one is be willing to develop others. Be the point person. Be the person that people come to and ask questions for. Develop others, motivate others, inspire others, train others, develop others, coach others. If you're willing to do that now, then don't you think you're going to get noticed when it's time for them to put names on that promotion list? Well, I think so. I know that for a fact because I've been an HR executive and been on the board and been on teams selecting people. Do the work now and start working to develop others. And how do you actually develop others? Create high performance teams. Do your part to do that. Set clear expectations for each employee on your team. Another thing that's important is, and I think a lot of people miss out on this one, is customize your leadership style to each of the employees. This is one of the ones, just like as a parent, if you try to manage all of your kids the same way and they all have different personalities, let me tell you, you're going to have some failures and some problems. So with employees, these are adults. They're not kids, they're adults. They have their own mind, their own way of doing things. But you, when you're developing others, you want to customize your leadership style to each employee. Some people like to be told what to do, others not. Give them the goal, give them the objective, and leave them alone. So do not manage or lead all of your employees the same way. And the next one that I have, now this one is very important. You have to develop executive presence. If you want to be an executive, if you want to be a leader, then you need to develop executive presence. Do you know what that looks like? Do you know what executive presence look like? Being able to respond appropriately to conflict and when things happen, being able to communicate effectively in front of a group or in front of a crowd or in front of an organization, right? And also build your leadership brand that goes with developing executive presence. Build your leadership brand now and, know what it is that you want people, what do you want to be known for? You have to do all of those things now so you can be noticed and recognized for that next level that you're hoping to go to. So I have some things here. When I think about developing people, a good leadership develops the competence and commitment of their people so they're self-motivated rather than dependent on others for direction and guidance. And according to Hershey's book, one of the experts, he says that a leader's high realistic expectation causes high performance of followers. And a leader's low expectation often lead to low performance of followers. So always find a way to have people leave you feeling better than they felt when they came in. So if you want to move to that next level or start your business, you must develop effective leadership skills. And what was the first thing that I said that I wanted you to write down? To become an effective leader, you have to build trust. Are you getting this? And I always say, if you want to go to the next level and you feel like something is holding you back, one of the first things that I say, I see sitting here, I'm getting ready to send out another coaching package. One of the first things that I put in all of my package, do you see this? What is this? What is this? This is a mirror, right? And what I have written on it that I give to everybody who's in my coaching person, it says, the only person stopping you from reaching your dreams is the person staring you back in the mirror. So what I want to say to you is work on your leadership skills, develop those competencies, whether it's to move up in your organization or it's to start and run and scale your own business. You have to have effective leadership skills. And that's what I specialize in. I want to help you if that's something that you need help with. And I'm Dr. Amy. I am here to help you reset your mindset, develop your skill set, and get on board to live out all of those dreams that's inside of your heart. So I said, let's go. Develop your leadership skills, develop your executive skills, and become that entrepreneur that you've been dreaming of, or get on the path to get noticed so you can get promoted for that position. That's what I'm hoping for you. I'm Dr. Amy, and I can't wait to see you right back here the next time. Be blessed and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.